Hi there, guys, and welcome to the Chronicles of Gamers. This is a podcast where we love to explain our love-hate relationship with video games. And I'm, of course, your host with the most, Efocutioner. Hey. It's mostly gonna be a fun day. I still fucking love this intro music. And it's all my son. Da da da. I fucking love this damn intro music. Anyways, welcome to episode 128. Oh, we hitting in the 130s pretty soon. Holy crap, man. Time flies when you go weekly instead of bi-weekly. So yes, I am here. Holy crap. Some shit happened this week in the video game industry. Well, pretty much some shit happened just recently. And it's really hard to debate. It's like, well, there's some stuff going on in the fighting game industry, but that's mostly where this topic is going to be discussed about. And no, it's not going to be about the Intel situation, what's going down with Intel and the Olympics and Street Fighter V and its horrible ass region type plane bullshit. Oh boy. And of course there's like a few other things like, I don't know, God of War being pushed back to fucking 2022 and shit. So I'm gonna let those stories develop, but we are gonna stay within the FGC. So for my fighting game people, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. We're going esports, but not really esports. So yes, there's something I want to discuss, and it has to revolve around Virtual Fighter 5. For those that do not know, it is free with PlayStation Plus. You can actually download it right now and play it if you wish or so desire. I am not interested in Virtual Fighter, so I will not be downloading it. But this Virtual Fighter 5 situation has created a very interesting discord within the fighting game community, and I myself found it to be interesting because I thought the same way too at first. So when Virtual Fighter got announced a week ago, there was pretty much this I think we all just agreed, like when we heard the announcement, the first thing that came out of my mouth, and I'm pretty sure other people's mouth, was Rollback Netcode. Now, of course, these words, man, oh my gosh. That Rollback Netcode apparently has now become this evil myth of a boogeyman within our fighting game community. Although it's just 2 words, 4 syllables, it has so much power. For those that are unfamiliar with Rollback Netcode, it's pretty much just a way of making a better online experience for those in the fighting game community. Although there are some people that are heavily champion, or they will just, you know, it's rollback or nothing. Let's just do the clip notes on it. I don't want to beat around the bush. But one of the things that was asked on Virtual Fighter 5's release or announcement was, how is the online going to play? And then, of course, it was then received with Rollback Netcode. Is there going to be Rollback Netcode? At the time, Sega said no, there's going to be some absorption netcode. So absorption, and I was like, absorption? You know, I was just like, what? But you know what? If you could do it, you can do it. I mean, goodness knows, I thought Stadia could do it with, well, what did they have? Like negative delay? Like, they predicted your delay. So, and unfortunately, from what I've heard from most people, that prediction wasn't all too knowing, and it was in the wrong direction. But of course, everyone's experience is different. But the whole point is, people were asking, is there going to be Rollback Netcode? Sega was like, no, it's going to be absorption based. A lot of people said that Virtual Fighter 5 is going to be dead on arrival. And then the Virtual Fighter fans and some influencers within the fighting game community, and I'm going to call them influencers because they are. They have a standing within the fighting game community, came out and they were just like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't really talk shit about this game until we try it, play it, and see how it is. And then, of course, most of them got the game early. They tried it themselves. They said their experiences weren't that bad. So, of course, Virtual Fighter has now been out. People are now playing it. And I just want to say, I'm not going to talk shit on the rollback. I'm just setting up the Discord. What I want to talk about today's topic is the fact that if you are going to be an influencer and if you are going to play certain games, you really got to understand your standing behind it. I understand when you get games early, it is very easy to, one, be happy that you got the game. So you might be a little bit nicer than you are normally, and you might critique it, or you might have semi-rose colored glasses. Goodness knows I've done that before in my early days of reviewing games. Because I was just like, oh, I really want this game, so let me be as nice as possible. Then, of course, there's the second and the most important thing. People who play online, especially, your online experience is going to be a little bit better because you're not going to be bombarded with a whole bunch of new players and everything. So, yeah. And this is where it's going to go into this discussion. So I'm going to show this post on Twitter, and this is the Discord that is happening right now for Virtual Fighter. This is from Rolling Soul Diver, and I thought this was a great tweet, and this is something that I felt, and thinking that the fighting game community has like this. If it works for me, then it's okay, but if everyone else has a really shitty experience, it's like, well, whatever. So, Rolling Soul Diver, as I switch over from my audio people, I'm going to read his tweet, and this is on Twitter. He literally puts, because this is off a response that an influencer had made talking about how people were just like, you know what, if Virtual Fighter doesn't have rollback, then it's going to be dead on arrival. And so we're going to talk about the influencer. So the influencer is NYC Furby on Twitter, and he put, fuck the haters, support the shit, LOL. Make sure to ask for rollback for the next game as well without being a dick about it. And then, of course, it goes a little bit on talking about the connection and stuff like that. And this is where I feel like Rolling Soul Diver is kind of in that same boat as me. So this is based off his tweet. This person puts, I am not saying you shouldn't support Virtual Fighter. This apparently needs to be repeated. However, I am really tired of the fuck you got my attitude people been having over others simply asking for games to have online that everyone can get good matches in. It's very frustrating that virtual, and this is like another tweet off of that, so it's like a long post about it. It's very frustrating that Virtual Fighter 5 is the game that they want to use to test interest in Virtual Fighter. And this is based off of Nibel's tweet where Sega said they're using this Virtual Fighter to gauge if people are going to be, well, they're gauging the success of this Virtual Fighter to see if they should make Virtual Fighter 6 and so on and so forth, which is like really fucking stupid to me, because it's just like, so you're going to make a free-to-play game with horrible online, well, not horrible online, but not a very good online experience for people, and then that's not going to really generate as much, but whatever. Anyways, let me go on to the tweet. It's very frustrating that Virtual Fighter 5 is the game that they want to use to test interest in Virtual Fighter, but many people cannot and will not get playable online matches or will be able to play with their friends. The quality of the online is entirely based on where you live, and this is the current information as today. Like I said, I'm not playing Virtual Fighter because A, I'm not interested in Virtual Fighter, never was, never will be, and B, I definitely am not going to play anything that does not have at least a semi-decent online experience. I played Resident Evil Resistance. I played my share of bad online experiences. I'm done. I'm good. Next. And then literally Roll Soul Diver's response after that. Ask for rollback in the next one is a shitty thing to tell people when they can't play this one. If Sega couldn't be bothered this time, who's to say that they'll care next time? Damn. Let's go. Say that one more time. Let me reread that one more time. Asking for rollback in the next one is a shitty thing to tell people when they can't play this one. If Sega couldn't be bothered this time, who's to say that they'll care next time? They knew it existed and intentionally picked an online solution that was inferior. If your response to people saying that the game has been unplayable or not good for them is give some fucking Pokemon Go to the polls. Yo. Talking about go to the polls type shit. You're trying to dodge the conversation. Living in a good region or having a local scene is not the fucking answer. Yo, where's my round of applause? So I really like Rolling Hills tweet off of that. And of course, they kind of talk about it. NYC Furby sees the post. He said you could have added him. And they're pretty much talking about the common goal. And, he's still trying to say if you support the game, then that'll be great. But if you don't, then you could fuck up and let it die or something like that. And we could ask for these things for the sequel. And he mentions like Soul Calibur 6. But even that has trash netcode. So it's just like, even though we're all stating the same thing, it's kind of the same thing. But that is one of the things about it, right? Like new fighting game comes out, right? That's usually how it goes. New fighting game, especially Japanese developer fighting game comes out. Then people who are interested in this thing build up the hype. But then people play it. Horrible online experience. And then people stop playing it. And then the company's like, why do people stop playing this so fast? And it's just like, horrible online experience. But then other people are like, look guys, we can continue playing it, support it, love it, and then the next game, we'll just let them know. And then they release the next game and it's still the same shitty ass horrible online experience because we supported the first game. And we still keep getting the same. Like, it's just a continuous fucking cycle. And of course, there are people that mention and at least talk about, if the online is that bad, you have Parsec. So for those unaware with Parsec, let me Google that, because I think this is a really important thing to showcase. But Parsec is this remote cloud gaming platform that's been around for a while. People are using this mostly with their fighting games. Let me switch over. So people pay for their own fucking servers to be able to play with. As you can see, Streets of Rage has it because they have it really bad, and Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's literally just cloud gaming. You just connect your PC, and you and other people connect your PC, and it makes like a really amazing online experience. But the whole point is you have to pay for it, and to me it's kind of stupid, because it's just like, well, why the hell do I need to rely on another company in order for me to have a decent online experience with my fighting game? Like, that should be a mandatory. That should be a standard. Like, I should not have to pay extra for that. Like, I think that's fucking dumb. You get what I'm saying? So I just hate the fact that people say like, well, the online is okay, but I really want to support this game, so I'm going to do rollback and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, bro, rollback is not the place to be, you know what I'm saying? And then like another thing, and I'm gonna add breaking news to this. I should have added breaking news, so we're gonna hit breaking news again because I didn't hit it the first time. But another reason is people are also getting upset with the influencers in the fighting game community, because they're the people that will just say like, oh yeah, I had like a really good online experience and it wasn't that bad, and I think we should all play it. And then people play it, and then they're like, bro, this online experience is like fucking horrible. What the fuck, man? Like, and they're just like, well, when I played, it was a decent, and then once again, it just goes back to that tweet of just saying like, yo, it seems like the FGC just has like this, or at least the influencers mostly have the fuck you mentality. But I don't want to say like influencers are purposely, shilling and being like that. But I definitely do believe like when they get the game early, like I said before, they're going to have a slightly better online experience, because they may not be able to like have so much, like they probably don't have the ability to play a lot of the Wi-Fi players or play multiple different people in other regions and stuff like that. They get to play with their friends, the people that they know. So of course those experiences can be just slightly on the better side. But once everyone can come into the club, they get like a whole nother experience. So like if someone tells you about some party that you're going to and they're having a fun time at the party, and they tell like a whole bunch of other people, and then you got like a couple hundred, 1,000 motherfuckers come through, crash into this damn party, well then it's going to be crowded as fuck, motherfuckers going to be doing this, and then your experience is not going to equal that, and then you're going to be upset, because it's just like, bruh, you told me about this hype party that was kind of chill, and I could just move and mingle, and like, look how crowded this shit is. And it's like, well, when I was here like 2 hours earlier, it was fucking fine for me. You get what I'm saying? It's just... So I'm not mad at influencers for saying play this game. I'm just like, yo, you gotta understand your power and the ability that you have, man. Like, I understand that you have like a good experience, but your experience really isn't good until you play on the day. And then, second of all, most of these influencers, I truly believe they aren't even really interested in virtual fighters. So it's one of those, like, I want to see what you guys are fucking doing a month from now. What I really want to hear from are the people who are really fans of virtual fighter, play virtual fighter. And that's another thing. I know people were just saying, like, hey, the next time this shit happens, we need to only trust, like, certain people, certain influencers. I believe I have that tweet somewhere. No, I do not. Well, someone pretty much said that the next time this kind of shit happens, we need to trust certain influencers like, Adam Hart, the Keats. Which, I mean, I believe this gentleman, this is a guy that worked on Killer Instinct from what I've heard on the Rollback video. And even he pretty much puts it in his tweet like, a new fighting game is coming out, so here is your reminder that the measure of good netcode is not how in its handling of good connection, but in how it hides the effects of bad ones. More people logging on may affect matchmaking, but it will not affect the player-to-player netcode. I played a friend under 60 ping, both of us on wired connection, the netcode is good, is not really a valid statement. It's the bare expected minimum. I played a friend on Wi-Fi overseas, the netcode is good, is more of an appropriate test, which is what I was saying, which I don't think these people did. If they did, I think this is where those influencers should really state those things. But anyways, it feels good now, but let's see how it feels when more people are on the servers. This will only affect matchmaking. It could either give you more matches with good connection, or the matchmaking server could fail under the stretch. The matches themselves are not affected, which is true, but like I said, more people coming in, you're going to get different types of connection, and then that's where you get that's the real stress test. That's what I meant when all people in the club come through and stuff like that. Like, that's where you're going to be handling the different people. And it's the same thing with the fighting game. So I should have clarified that. That's my bad for not mentioning that, because literally read this man's tweet and thought the same thing. Did they make netcode worse? It felt better last month. Less people are playing now than at launch, drastically lowering the number of people you have ideal connections to, letting you experience what the game really does or does not do to hide the latency and packet loss. And of course, he pretty much says, feel free to retweet this when there's a new game. And then here's the best one for the netcode questions that Adam Hart pretty much put. This gentleman says, the key netcode questions: is the input delay fixed or variable? Answer should be fixed. Does the game stutter or freeze when packets are lost? Answer should be no. We don't care if it's called rollback or GGPO. We care if it does those things. And I completely agree. All I want is a decent online experience for fighting games. And it's crazy that in the FGC, people are just like, you know what? Why are you guys mentioning rollback all the time? We should just play this game. We should support it. We should do this, this, and this. If we don't do this, then these companies won't make the game and we won't get it. And it's just like, whoa, first and foremost, I am not obligated to buy anything that anyone does, that anyone makes, ever in its entire fucking life and career and existence, especially in fucking video games. I am not obligated to buy anything that you fuckers release. I am obligated to buy products and things that I feel, that I like, that I enjoy, and that have high quality value. That's it. When I purchase a fighting game, I don't think about, oh man, if I don't buy this fighting game now, they will never make this. And I had to change that mentality, because at first I used to think the same way. First and foremost, let me at least mention that. I used to think the same way. Then I sat down logically and thought about it. I spoke to other people, and they've, told me the truth about this thing. I'm so glad I ventured outside the fighting game community and went to those events that Gamer Composer went to and everything. Because I know I need to do more of those, because I get to meet people, I get to talk to people behind the scenes and learn more of what the fuck is going on in the gaming industry. But the first and foremost is, I am not obligated to buy your shit. That's first and foremost. Even if I am interested and I love the product and I wish they would make more, I'm still not obligated to buy your shit. Second of all, if you don't have the bare minimum of fun and enjoyment, I do not have to fucking stick around and support this shit. Yes, I have played games with shitty online experiences. Like I said, I played Resident Evil Resistance. The reason I continue playing Resident Evil Resistance, even though it had some really bad online connections, it was because, one, I really fucking enjoyed the game, and the second, I really enjoyed the fucking game to tolerate the bad online connections. I've had multiple laggy experiences. I've been through at least a whole entire stream of laggy online matches, and I still had a fun time doing it. But that was my choice on the matter. My choice. If I were to tell anybody new to play this damn game, I would let people know, hey, your online experience will vary. You might be prepared for some lag. People purposely might lag. But at least I can be honest about it. And I think that's something that the people in the FGC should like really think about as well. Like, yes, I get that Virtual Fighter came out. Yes, I literally just heard Sega quote unquote hold Virtual Fighter by the neck saying, if this doesn't do well, I'm going to kill it. You know, but at the same time, it's like, we're not obligated to make your shit better. And if you really wanted us to really support it, why did you not put the best of your intentions and product into this thing? We did not know, and I hate this also, this is another thing I hate as well. We did not know about online experiences from back in the day. I understand that people have been talking about Rollback Netcode since 2018 and stuff like that. I understand that this is still new and we don't understand the full experiences about it. But the reason we didn't understand it is because none of us were fucking developers. We didn't work for these companies. We didn't even work on games. We were people who just loved playing games. So of course we didn't know the shit. We didn't know there was better stuff out there for us. We didn't know there was like a better online experience for us. We just figured that these companies were giving us the best of the best of the best. Do you get what I'm saying? It's spooky that they're just like, wow, people have been talking about the rollback army, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yo, people have the right to have a good online experience. I don't understand why that's so hard for people to understand. I don't understand it. Like, if I had known back in Street Fighter 4 days that there was a fucking program or whatever the fuck it is that could make a better online experience, you don't think I would have said Capcom, hey bro, why don't you implement this GGPO or this rollback netcode back then? You know what I thought? I thought Capcom was giving us the best in their online gameplay. And I was just like, wow, this must be very difficult for them. It's very difficult to have a decent online experience. But hey, maybe Capcom did the best they could. I accept what they have. The end. I didn't know there was something better out there. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with KOF 13 when I played that online. Same thing with KOF 14. Oh, KOF 13 online was the worst fucking experience. I had to fucking get PC and fucking lower my screen, stop the background from moving. I had to really, really, really struggle to have like a decent online experience with that game, especially on PC. I rebought the game for PC and I had it for PlayStation 3. And at the same time, I said the same fucking thing. Man, online experiences for fighting games must be fucking hard. They must be doing the best they can. But at the same time, I wouldn't... This is crazy that we are the only fucking genre that has to struggle with just good online netcode. I can go play a shooter right now and I would never have that problem. Imagine if we were to have the same fucking... bring your same shit to people who are fucking playing CSGO or Variant or fucking Halo. Like, they would look at us and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I would not play this game if there was a shitty online experience. I would play something else. And it's only us. Because we feel like, oh, if we don't support it, then they won't make it anymore. Bitch, they gonna make it. They gonna make it. Why the fuck would Sega make Virtual Fighter? They know that they have a fan base that's really interested in Virtual Fighter. They knew. It wasn't even a risk for them. They knew. They just didn't want to put their best foot forward. I'm not saying don't play Virtual Fighter 5. I'm not saying it's a horrible game. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is I know Sega, if if like, why would they even make it free? I feel like they're gonna make a 6. We're making enough fan outroar. They're gonna make a 6. We're fine. No one is obligated to buy whatever fucking product you have. And I guess for influencers, I don't want to say don't listen to anybody. I think you should listen to the people that you should listen to. All I ask is, like, when they get the product early, is don't listen to their experiences then. Listen to their experience after they get the product. Wait until release day. Wait until after release day. Wait to see if these motherfuckers are playing a month from now and they're still having a good ass experience. Wait for that shit. Watch their streams and see what happens during those times. Now, if they are still having a fun time, that's when you listen to their ass. And then that's when you know it's worth buying and the netcode is okay. Don't wait for before, wait for after. That's my 2 cents on it. My gosh, man, it frustrates the fuck out of me. The FGC is the only one that will settle on some shit. We gotta fucking fix that, man. I mean, I would go more into this rant, but I don't want to take too much of this damn time. And I barely got into this damn thing. Like, there was, like, more things that I wanted to show and everything. And I really wanted to get a little bit deeper, but I had to take some stuff out. Man, we are, like, fucking... This is why I hate being a fighting game fan sometimes. Like, God forbid. Like, I'm buying Stride when that comes out just for its, amazing online play. Anyways, it's that time of the show where we got to say goodbye. Before we go, before we do, you all know what time it is. It's time for shameless plugins. The Chronicles of Gamers. Just type us in at Google. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated myself. Because I look at this thing. You know what's worse? Can I at least do this real quick? You know what's worse is, like, this is the post. This is the post right here, real quick. So here we go. So the game had been out for a good minute. So look. Dustpan. So he said, especially when they don't bother implementing good netcode, that would have been a huge. Have you played it to make this statement? Dustpan says not extensively, but a few rounds after word, it was most certainly still delayed based. I still tooled around with arcade mode and play locally while I can, but it's like Tekken 7 as a game where I won't be able to fully enjoy it online. So Dustpan actually played. So this guy on Twitter named Dustpan played the game online, and he didn't have really, like, the best online experience. But then this guy, Rain Freeseas, literally makes a post right after. That sounds like a you problem. Haven't experienced any problems besides the odd disconnection here or there. Yo, do you see what this shit? You see what this guy literally put? That sounds like a you problem. Haven't experienced any problems beside the odd disconnection here or there. This motherfucker just admitted he had disconnections while playing. He literally put that in the tweet, but he said, "But it was still fine for me." What in a legitimate fuck, man? And this is, like, literally in the Nibil Sega tweet of like this is early on in the fucking thread. Like, I shit you not, man. Like, this is earlier on in the thread. And then they even go more about it, where it's just like, yo, just because you don't excessively experience a problem like others does not mean that the problem does not exist. Many people are having issues. And then this person's like, yo, I never disputed whether it existed or not. Read the first. Like, this man pretty much just, like, negates his whole argument of just, like, it sounds like a you problem. And he just doesn't want to admit, like, well, there is a problem, but it's not widespread. And it's just like, but you had a problem. And the other person had a problem. You all have fucking problems playing this damn game. I'm done, bro. I gotta get off. This is the shit I'm talking about. Anyways, type us in at Google, the Chronicles of Gamers. For my video people, you see my shit down there. For my audio people, just type us in at Google, the Chronicles of Gamers. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. My audio people, I'm sorry if you didn't see it. I'll put the tweets in the show notes, but it's just like, it's so fucking frustrating. Like, it really fucking is. Like, it's so fucking frustrating. Like, the mentality. I'm done. I honestly want to talk more about this thing, but anyways, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Man, we are off. We're so fucked up, bro. This is ridiculous. Stay lit and power to the gamers.